Okay, so I want to share my reflections um, on the Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show. Okay, so my name is Taylor, and I am a dance educator, arts advocate, former professional dancer, arts administrator in the Atlanta area, and yeah, I just wanted to share my opinions. Um, so know that this isn't like a hot take. It's not outrage. It's just my reflection, my own personal opinions. Um, you can take from it what you want. All right. So I'm gonna start off with this thought. You cannot be American and not acknowledge the diasporic influence in American culture. It's everywhere, right? America is a melting pot, right? Okay, so as a Black American, I see my culture and my history influencing American culture every day, which makes my culture American, right? Um, and sometimes that influence is celebrated and put on a pedestal, right? Capitalized, made money off of, and sometimes it's misunderstood. Um, and sometimes people don't even want to acknowledge it at all. Um, but you cannot be upset about this Super Bowl performance and sit in a Mexican restaurant eating Mexican food, right? Okay, so the performance was centered around the Puerto Rican culture. But I'm just saying that to say, right? You cannot say that you didn't at least appreciate this halftime show and then sit there and go to a Mexican restaurant and have margaritas, right? Yeah, it's a symbolism of it, right? I know there's a clear difference between Mexican culture and Puerto Rican culture, but I'm just saying that is the point, right? America is a melting pot full of these different cultures. Um, so, and also, let's be very clear. Puerto Rico is part of America. Yeah, if you paid even the slightest bit of attention in school. Puerto Rico is America. It's not its separate country. It's not its own entity. So that makes Puerto Rican history and culture American history and culture. You have to understand your history to understand where you're going, right? Okay, so let's dig into the performance. I thought the performance was beautiful. I thought it paid homage to the intricacies of Puerto Rican culture, the details, the symbolism, the storytelling. That is art, right? That's what art is supposed to do. Tell stories, invoke thought. I am not Hispanic, but I learned a lot just from watching the halftime show. And that's, like I said, what art is supposed to do. Art is supposed to invoke thought. Art is supposed to tell a story. And that performance was real storytelling, right? We all walked away with something. So that was true art, in my opinion. And if you were paying attention, I mean, really paying attention, you noticed all of the metaphors and the symbolism that was jam-packed in that performance. The details mattered. It paid homage where homage was due. We as a people must honor our ancestors and where we came from. And I think, like, as a Black American, and I imagine in the Hispanic culture as well, there is a lot of emphasis on your ancestors and your history and where you came from, right? I also think, in my unprofessional professional opinion, right, there's a lot of crossover between Black and Hispanic culture. shared rhythms like salsa, bachata. It all has its foundation in African culture, right? So shared rhythms, shared resistance, shared joy, and shared struggle. It's finding that love and joy within the oppression, within the struggle, right? The joy still lives there. So for me, this performance felt very familiar, even though it wasn't necessarily like my background and my history, right? So I think that performance was inherently American, right? America is a melting pot. America was built on immigration, on diaspora, on layered identities. So whether you choose to admit it or not, Americans enjoy Puerto Rican culture every day. Yeah. Also, I enjoyed last year's halftime show with Kendrick Lamar. I really like the direction that the NFL and whoever the big entities are involved are going with these performances. Yeah, it's just not about the pure entertainment anymore. We're telling stories, we're educating, and we're creating conversations that need to happen, that are important. We're also putting art on a main stage. Yeah, dance, the violins, the orchestra, the set design, all of it is on a main stage. So the quote that really stuck with me throughout that whole performance is, the only thing more powerful than hate is love. Yeah. And honestly, I'm sure we can all agree that here in America, we need more love. So these are just my reflections, my opinions on Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime performance. If you watched it, I would love to know what stood out to you. Yeah. So we're not here to argue. We're just here to reflect and to create dialogue around the art. Yeah. And also, shout out to the dancers. Yeah, I mean, it had you rocking in your seats. Like, you wanted to get up. And I thought I was, Puerto Rican that night, at least. So I thought it was really well done. Anyway, until next time.